scoff that down the gob.
Yes, we are.
I had to find a profile picture as well, so the one that suits me.
I'm just trying to find where the heck the broadcast is coming from. Good Lord. Live streaming, yes.
Yeah, apparently we're on live.
Apparently, I set it to live.
Unless it's live.
It says this stream is offline. I'm like, duh. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. So now you can actually go to, where's that stupid link? Where are you? Oh, we still have, 9 minutes till it's official. Well, it is actually streaming right now if you go to my channel, I think.
All right.
I think. I don't know. You try.
1 second. I don't want to like tempt fate at the moment. Well, I'll just try it though. Oh yeah, there we go.
You can hear yourself.
33 people are apparently watching this and they've got nothing better to do. Go home, you people, you crazy fools. I don't even know if there's a chat bar or anything like that.
There should be a chat bar. Oh, yeah.
I can't see it.
It's definitely there.
Ah, there we go. If I click on chat. Maybe if I click on that thing called chat, that actually, yeah, that's really insightful there.
That would probably do it, yeah.
All those things just to get the smegging thing working. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see where I could access all this because it's such a new thing to me. And I see you because it's in the window. I don't see anyone else. I'm assuming there's like a chat thing I have to do first. I don't want to screen share. I just want to see what's going on. There's a YouTube app. Yes. A test. No, that doesn't do anything.
I see your chat there.
Yeah, but it's not the
oh.
It's not the YouTube chat, I don't think.
Oh yeah, it's group chat, isn't it?
It's for like this, like for you and I, but not the live stream chat. So I have to actually go into the live stream chat and see where it is. I think. Again, this is all me just guessing here.
Okay. Oh wait, yeah, I can actually see the little thing. There's people like talking to us.
Do you have the link? Because I'm a little lost here.
Stand by.
Like just copy your URL and just give it to me.
Is that the one?
Let's find out.
Probably like people just giving like, what on earth are these two people doing?
That's not it. No.
Really?
Where are you reading comments?
I actually went onto your webpage itself and the chat's right there. But the thing is, though, you're hearing yourself talk in such a delay that you just can't do it unless, of course, I mute it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 1 second. I may have it. This is the one that you sent to me. No, actually, that's the same one, actually.
That's strange. Okay, it has to be.
It's shorter, actually. I'll look at it. Oh, no. What's the call link?
Oh, I think I got it. There we go. Okay.
I'm watching your grandparents navigate Windows XP.
Okay, so this is how I'm doing it. I muted the. This is the link. I muted the volume there. Okay. Hey guys. Yes, I can read your comments.
We just tested it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We really suck at doing live chat. This is our first time, so we do apologize. I will be. I downloaded. I added the YouTube app so we can watch the Andromeda Combat official whatever video #1, and we'll comment on it. Yeah, I know it's totally random. I do apologize. But yeah, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna pause it. We have some comments. You know what? It's actually good. I'm happy to say there's something to look at, and it's positive. And I would actually do a video just on this because there's something to look at as opposed to like the 2-3 months of just crap we've been given. So. Oh yeah, the female protagonist. She actually doesn't look that bad. I saw a comparison on what was it, Twitter? Someone did a quick 15-minute edit in SFM, and looks pretty good. I mean, in comparison to what Bioware was working on, but who knows if it was rigged or what kind of facial animations they have going. But everyone's subjective to the female face, but there's certain things you can tell that just work better.
That's what modding's for.
Yeah, I bet there should be already an online community going, what kind of tech do they have? What can they give us to mod? Because if they can do it in Dragon Age Inquisition, I'm sure they can do it in...
I remember doing the thing in Origins, really. The amount of stuff that you could pile into that was ridiculous.
Well, everyone's going to get all those hair mods and skin mods and God knows what other kinds of mods going. So. Let's see if I can actually stream this thing. Play. Oh. Can you actually see that? Can you actually see the video here?
Nope. Unless if I...
Really? You can't? That's weird. Okay, so technically I can see it, but no one else in my channel can. That's stupid.
Yeah, we just got to trust you on this one.
I know, this is kind of stupid. It's like, hey,
guys, it's complete crap.
I'm watching this amazing video. It's like really good. What are you talking about? Maybe if I share my screen, maybe that's what happened. Oh, duh. Yeah, okay. How do I share my screen? Let's see. Screen share. Yeah, you press the screen share button. Thanks. Okay. Grasp that. Share. Yes. Okay. Present to everyone. Not even doing anything. Do this. For now, screen sharing to everyone. Yay. Try this again. Okay, good. Whoa, that's creepy.
It's like entering into the mind of Mac Walters, isn't it?
What have I done wrong? Where am I? Okay, so it is working. It's just really delayed on the live stream because it's delayed. That's how it is. Let's try this again. Okay. No.
Look at that. Hopefully we're just testing this out, really, aren't we? Then before.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm okay. I just gotta go back. There we go. Okay. So
I gotta nip away for like.
Can you actually see that now? Can you see the video on the left? Let's get rid of this playlist. I don't even know why we have this playlist here. There we go. Oh crap! Now it's gone. Fuck. I don't need a playlist for one video. Like what the hell? Add videos. Yes. Add videos. Boom. Added. Thank you. I mean, there's no results. Oh my god. Come on. All right, good. So, right. So, can you actually see the video? Where it is in this screen?
I can see it, but not hear it.
Okay, fine. Well, anyway, thanks guys for waiting. We were playing around the past hour, and I think we got it. I don't think it's perfect. I'm going to do a full screen. Hopefully that'll work. There we go. Oh, that's how it does. Okay, good. And we're going to go, scene by scene. I don't know if my fellow here, Ultimate Delicious Pie, can see it, but we can definitely talk about it as I pause. Okay, let's try it.
Let's give it a whirl before I have to nip off. This is like really weird because I'm like seeing a window within a window within a window. It's
I just want to say that if you see that maneuver where he jumped into the air and then dashed back, it's like I don't know what kind of technique. And after he dashed back, he then Vanguard charged into the character.
I think wasn't that an ability from the ME Freeze multiplayer? I think it was one of the N7s. Because they've taken a lot of cues from like a lot of the things from like the like that shield there. I think was one of the elite classes, if they called it that.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like I said, there's a lot of things that they've taken from the multiplayer in and of itself. So for better or worse, really. But if they've if you can crouch manually, then I'll be like pooping myself.
That would probably fix a lot of broken things that well, we wanted since the first game or the second game rather, after they took it off, and it's like, why can't we do this? If they can do combat rolls, I think they could do crouching. Anyway, let's keep going.
That offers amazing freedom of movement with the use of a jump jet that allows you to jump, evade, and even hover while you're fighting. You'll also notice a new dynamic cover system that allows you to seamlessly use almost anything, including your own vehicle, for cover.
Now this is interesting, that using your own vehicle for cover is like, does it blow up if you just stand there? Because the Mako could totally just get wrecked. So if this is like an indestructible object, you just sit behind your car the entire time and wait for them to come to you.
I think that's kind of a good thing though. If they're going for like a little bit more large open worlds, and you don't want to always be right in front of enemies' faces, using one of the big tires there as cover seems a bit sensible. If you've got that in, that's pretty cool.
Well, it depends if these rubbers are indestructible and you get to upgrade your alien tires with whatever resources you find.
Hopefully they didn't fire a cane at you.
It's just this semi-nuclear. This big fireball in front of you. Like, yeah, we're totally safe. This is great. Okay.
All this freedom allows you to approach the battle in a way that suits your gameplay style. Let's take a closer look at our weapons. In Mass Effect Andromeda, there are 4 categories of guns.
Okay, now they're going to talk about the 4 categories of guns, but as you know, the guns on the screen, I think the Charger was in, or I don't even know if it was called that, but it looks like a Mass Effect 2 with a standard semi-auto, and the Crusader is definitely a Mass Effect 3 gun, so it does not exist. Like, it's not there. It can't exist in the Andromeda Galaxy. They have to explain how it gets there, or else it's like all the other Mass Effect 3 guns. It makes no sense. But I'm assuming lots of lore is already just makes no sense, and they just sort of threw it in there because it was popular last game. I mean, that's what I think. I could be wrong. Okay, so let's keep going.
Pistols, shotguns, and sniper and assault rifles, plus a range of melee weapons for up-close combat. All guns are available to every player. There are no class restrictions, so if you decide you want to try something new, it's as easy as switching your loadout. Guns and gear in Andromeda fall into 3 technology types based on where the tech comes from. Milky Way weapons typically use physical projectile ammunition that's similar to the types of weapons you might be familiar with from our original games.
Notice how he said typically. So, yes, because of Mass Effect 2, heat sinks are a thing, and technically it's an ammo system, but that doesn't defeat the fact that they may just go back to the old Mass Effect 1 unlimited ammo, essentially. Now, would that be great? I know they presented, I think, one weapon from the DLC for Citadel that, again, I don't know. I didn't play it, but I saw it, so I'm assuming that's what he might be referring to.
I think it's one of the aliens. It's one of the remnant weapons that are unlimited.
Oh no, yeah, we're coming up to that. But what he was referring to, he was referring to the Andromeda, or sorry, the Milky Way galaxy.
Oh right.
They're probably like this, typically use this kind of ammo. So it's still an ammo system, whether it's called heat sinks or ammo blocks or whatever the hell they're going to call it.
With some advancements, of course. These are high-impact projectile-based guns. They're great against most non-shielded targets, but require you to keep an eye on your ammo. Remnant weapons typically use beams, have a high rate of fire, and are extremely accurate. They use the overheat system and don't rely on ammo, so you'll never run out of ammo, but you'll have to wait for your gun to cool down from time to time.
All right, so this is basically like the collector weapon or the weapon that Javik comes with, which is the self-regenerating assault rifle, I think. Yeah, nothing.
Beam weapon.
Yeah, it's an energy-based beam weapon. It's you just point and you shoot and you hold down and that's it. So nothing too fancy, but if you don't want to worry about ammo, I guess that's your gun for you. I guess. I don't know. Seems like it's only assault rifles.
Helios weapons are technology from civilizations that live in the Helios cluster of Andromeda. They are generally plasma-based, which means they are slower speed, but benefit from heat-seeking technology. While some are charge-based, the longer you charge them before releasing, the harder they hit.
Okay, so there's two kinds. Heat-seeking, which is pretty much like cheating. You just point and fire. Yeah, you just like that's. I don't know. It looks like it has ammo as well, so I guess that's kind of one way to dissipate the cheating. I think it's cheating. Yeah. Anything with an auto lock is cheating. I think that's stupid.
Is that the plasma-based weapon?
Yeah, no, this is the Helios-based weapons.
All right, okay. I'll remember them because I don't have sound on this for some reason, but I remember saying that some of the weapons are actually like they're plasma-based. I'm like, well, how would a plasma orb, a superheated dense matter thing, be auto-guided? And
oh god, a heat device or a heat weapon tracking a heat source.
It just it's in on itself.
It's like I'm plasma. I'm extremely hot, and I'm right next to the sensor. I would just explode, or I'd go nowhere. Yeah. Well,
the charge-up mechanic is fine, actually. Like you basically fire a big lump of molten mass at someone. That'd be pretty cool. But auto-guiding weaponry, that seems more like what you'd have in a traditional chemical-based weaponry.
Well, the ridiculous lore from Mass Effect 3 of the Dark Star was this basically a gun that destroys atoms, or it's like a fusion stupid. The description was so over the top. If the cane wasn't bad enough, you have this Dark Star thing which just tears apart things on an atomic level, and you're just like, what? When am I shooting at these guys? It's not a. It's just a gun you happen to find that's a Reaper weapon. And you're like, oh, I'll just press this button, and yeah, that's it. It's great. It's like a one-shot thing. So yeah, if they stay away from the nonsense sci-fi lore, I think they'll be fine. If they keep it this simple, like it's plasma, but it's heat-seeking and da-da-da, and they give a little bit more on the background, like when you go onto the codex, and they give you some actual information on it, because they're going to have all kinds of upgrades. There's going to be a stupid amount of upgrades for all these crap. So they're going to have to explain half of this stuff. So, but of course, with all that explanation, you're going to get a lot of people shaking their heads going, yeah, that's not scientifically feasible. I mean, it's just, sure, it's a science fiction game, and it's a shooter, and the whole point is gameplay. But, one of the things that Mass Effect was proud on was being a hard science fiction story. So you had everything relatively explained, not in excessive detail, but with extra detail for the sake of it to make it believable. Even that, and that's, I think, what made level design so big. The Citadel feels so big, and the worlds feel so barren and empty, because that's what you wanted. You wanted this realistic, not realistic, you wanted this understanding that space is huge, and you have to appreciate all the little details that our writers and our lore creators and our level designers are doing. All right.
Melee weapons vary in both damage and speed.
There we go.
Hard-hitting hammers do maximum damage.
Okay, I could barely see that, but at least I could see it. If the next weapon's coming up, you won't even be able to tell what the hell they're using. Let's check this out.
While lightning-fast shivs or swords allow you to get in and out of harm's way with maximum speed and precision.
Like, I actually have to slow it down to like a quarter of speed to actually even get a glimpse of like the animation.
I couldn't tell. I had no idea what the hell that. Like, what was that? A sword? Was that like the first one a
It's
shiv?
a
I'm like,
short sword.
he. Well, first off, he was invisible, and then he attacked, and you're like, what? What happened? I didn't see anything. And then the second one, you actually saw a little slash, but it was like, okay, well, whoop-de-doo, right? Why don't I just pull up my frickin' gun and blow your head off? I mean, what's the benefit of a sword? Does it like does it the slow blade penetrate the shield? You know, is it like if you can't get by a certain armor or a certain shield, you just use a melee weapon? That would match lore. That's exactly what happens in or the
Yeah,
explanation in Mass Effect
someone
1.
on the face, and you kind of go, ah, why are my shields? Oh yeah, that's right. They don't activate slap to the face.
Exactly, exactly. So that would be fine. The other reason to have melee is, of course, if you run out of ammo, and if you're not a biotic, so it might be a last resort sort of weapon. But I don't see it as this huge thing. Like as we saw in even this trailer, guns are just amazing. Guns just do everything. So skills are cool. Like there's this really cool skill coming up I'm going to talk about, but it's still this is a run and gun sort of game.
In addition to weapons, you can also develop skills and abilities. Like the weapons, there are no restrictions on what skills you can choose, and each of the 3 main categories is designed to facilitate a certain style of play. Combat skills are great if you want to focus on weapons, gear, and making your character the ultimate soldier.
You know, previously in other Mass Effect games, you have like heavy, medium, and light, whereas this one, because they've abandoned the class system for this more fluid one, I wonder how they're going to do is it going to be mobility versus protection, or is it going to affect your power systems and your abilities and such?
It seems like it's like a grab bag like Skyrim. They just sort of dumped all the skills into one sort of character, and you can just mix and match, which I guess is fine. It just sounds bizarre because that implies that both Sarah and Scott are biotics.
Yeah, it is. There's actually when I was reading through one of the little statements, it apparently is in the game whereby they say that why you can learn all these skills. So apparently you're going to be like some, I don't know, but I'm going to figure out some genetic test tube baby or something like that, or some super soldier program that happened. It was a buy one get one free because you were twins, I suppose.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that, because how else do you explain a character who can be biotic, who can be a soldier, who can be a tech expert, and then be qualified to be the next coming of the N7 scientist genius dad? Why were you chosen? They have to explain all this crap. But look at this, like all these skills like barricade, turbocharge, trip mine, flak cannon, and then pistols. You're like, what the hell do I need a pistol for when I have freaking flak cannons? And assault rifles, shotguns, sniper rifles. So yeah, it's basically, I'd say, a slightly beefed up version of what happened in Mass Effect 3. Because Mass Effect 1 had just a big long list of all this stuff, and this seems a bit more robust, which is good. We want to go back to RPGs. We want to go back to stats and skills and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's actually not a bad thing.
These skills focus on improving weapon damage and accuracy, as well as giving you the ability to use flak cannons, grenades, trip mines, and more. Tech skills allow you to equip your Pathfinder with more experimental weaponry, or focus on strategic improvements for you and your squad. Cryo beam and flamethrower give you more offensive punch.
Sorry?
Rider of Rivia there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, all these tech abilities, they will improve damage. And I'm like, well, or I can just one-shot you with my sniper rifle. I mean, I guess it's about gameplay options. If you want to be the tech guy, you can choose all tech, but it's going to come down to efficiency anyway. It's like, what's going to be the fastest way to stop this guy? Pull out the massive gun you've got and blow him away. And if you run out of ammo, I guess you would have, this is like your secondary option. So they really have to do balancing. They have to make these classes worthwhile. And standing in the middle of a gunfight, putting your hand out and lighting someone on fire doesn't seem like the most tactically efficient thing to do.
Like, it doesn't seem all that safe. You want to scratch your balls or something and then suddenly just light up. It's like,
not only that, you could hover in the air on your jetpack. It's like, hi, up here, guys. I'm gonna cast magic missile from up here. Yay!
Hey, you remember this from Dragon Age Inquisition when
Yeah.
dragons fly around and just spew fire? We're peaceful explorers, nay, pa.
Well, yeah. What Dragon Age has what all those spells like you make an ice wall. Here we have a tech shield or whatever we hide behind and we can jump over. So I doubt they're going to have the level of strategy and tactics that you would have in Inquisition. Now, whether or not that was even relevant in Inquisition because the gameplay was so questionable. So yeah, I guess it's nice to have a deployable shield. You know, very Halo-ish, very functional, I would say. Is it going to be useful? If you're just walking around and you're allowed to just light people on fire in the open, then probably not. So we will see.
While skills like Invasion or Energy Drain weaken your opponents and make them easier to take down. Want a little extra help?
Oh, at least
deploy your own assault turret.
Did that turret actually come from the wrist there? Like, is it wrist-mounted turret?
You know what? I would appreciate if it did because
That'd be kind of cool, that would. It's like, okay, it's an actual physical object that's located on your arm.
exactly. It's not a piece of Omni-Tool dream nonsense that just pops out of nowhere and has bullets and fire and
Came
ice.
from the Fade.
It came from, yeah. I'd have to screw up. Oh, it's not from the dream world. It's from the techno electric dimension where all the other aliens come from, or something bullshit like that. How do we shoot bullets out of this thing that popped out of nowhere? And then the bullets have to be, of course, they have to be Milky Way bullets. They can't be any other ammunition because they have to be super tiny. And there, of course, has to be some sort of Mass Effect generator that can propel these bullets. So it's this really neat piece of spy gear that can kill you very, very powerfully. Well, nowadays, obviously, in the future, they have they can look at that thing and laugh. But hey, it's a turret that looks like it's physical, and that is a great step up from Tali summoning an infinite number of Jatitas or whatever they're called. Yeah. Because she can. It's just what? No. It's holograms aren't real. Holograms do not physically hit things. And unfortunately, Mass Effect has yet to explain how in bloody blazes a microfabrication system on your arm can create swords instantly and make them turn into switchblades and then dissipate. And that I don't know. You don't just invent shit and say it's always been there. We just never bothered to use it because we didn't think of it in the first game. That's not how you go about making believable action science fiction stories, I think.
Well, yeah, it's like if you had the ability to create a very hard object, it's like, why don't you just fire that? But it forms like it locks people down into a cage, and then you just slowly crush them to death.
Oh God, you could do so many things. If I can create random objects that are super sharp and super strong, and I could make them rotate and levitate and move extremely fast. What the hell do I need a gun for? I can just summon, yeah, exactly. I could summon a giant cage of blades and just and I don't have to worry about anything. It's a little we're going into Japanese anime territory with the Gundam concepts of what kind of robot should this be? Well, it should have a tail and a giant scythe, and you're like, what the hell is that for? But yeah, if you could do this arm blade, switchblade, hologram bullshit, what's stopping you from mounting that stuff on a gun, or making a gun out of that? I mean, what the hell you need? What do you need ammo for when you can make stuff out of thin air? I mean, it's
whole heat sink thing fall apart, then, doesn't it? It's like
it defeats the whole purpose of the lore, and that's why. Well, obviously they can't go much further than that because they want it to be this cool thing. And I don't know, that whole Mass Effect 3 was that the San Diego or San Francisco Comic-Con where they were handing out those plastic armband toys to whoever came by.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's probably a marketing stint. It worked with the gameplay. Someone thought it was cool, and they ran with it without having to think about the consistency of the world. And this is the problem. You can't just do things because of the rule of cool. you have to make it work. Now, you can do Rule of Cool, provided it works. And why not do both? What's stopping them? Well, there weren't any writers involved. There wasn't the lore guy from Mass Effect 1. Either they fired him or they just switched jobs or whatever to make the story, the gameplay consistent with what came before. And, you know, in Mass Effect 3, it got destroyed. So going to a new galaxy could have solved these problems, but you know, they have to invent new technology. They have to do all these things, and they have to explain it. So they're going to have to go back to the storytelling lore of Mass Effect 1 with the voiceover guy. You know, hire that guy again or get someone else and explain stuff. And yeah, you might only be affecting 20% of your fan base or 15% of your fan base just because they are hardcore fans. They read all the books and they pay attention. But if anyone's going to take you seriously and there are details to be had, you have to have them. You can't just, yep, it's cool. It's a gun. It's shooting lightning now. Lightning with holograms. Lightning with holograms and fire. Lightning with holograms and fire, and my next upgrade is going to be it can clone itself on death or some bullshit. You're like, but no, just stop. Stop with these crazy ideas and make it believable. And stick with it. That's it. Be consistent. That's all we really want when we talk about lore. So yeah, any future writers out there, just when you write your stories in science fiction or fantasy, try to be as mundane and believable as possible. And then your worlds, they're virtual or otherwise, will be a lot better to appreciate.
Last but not least, biotics. By controlling dark energy, your Pathfinder can harness the power of mass and gravity. Biotic skills like pull and throw allow you to literally control the battlefield, using your enemies as a shield.
Okay, that's actually pretty
This
cool.
is insane. This is the biggest thing in the video for me.
This is Half-Life 2 gravity gun.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's good. That's really good.
this is obviously a good thing. It's nothing new, but this is what we probably wanted to do in the first game.
Yeah.
If biotics were really overpowered in the first game, and I was like, why can't I just grab a guy who's 100 meters that way, throw him in my peripheral, make him a shield, and then throw him back? Like, why couldn't I? Now you can, and I'm all for this. This is beautiful. This is within the lore. Provided the guy, okay. Then the argument becomes, were his shields down, right? Because
Biotics go through shields, though, don't they?
They do. They used to.
Yeah, they used to, and then magically it just changed. It's like, oh no, they don't. No, they don't anymore.
So if they go back to Mass Effect 1 and say, yes, this is how it's always worked, perfect. Okay, we know 2 and 3 are crap. Fine. Lore-wise, great. Go back to Mass Effect 1. Fine. However, then they have to make sure everything else in Andromeda follows this rule as well. So what were shields as well? Like melee weapons, they go through shields, no problem, because they're slow. You sit on a chair, your kinetic barriers don't stop you, that sort of thing. So I'm all for this. It's beautiful. Thing is, it could be a little overpowered. There has to be a limit to this. So there has to be like the number of things you could pick up, the types of things you could pick up.
I suppose one of the ideas that I had was that your animation cycle is actually dependent on the weight of the object which you're lifting. So something that's really heavy requires your guy to basically take a lot more strain. Whereas, let's say you pick up a pebble, whereas that's just going to be like a whoop.
Oh yeah, okay. So some people have. Well, that depends on their ability. I think there's an actual generic biotic skill, I think, which is just the class-based skill, right? Then yeah, you can therefore now pick up bigger objects like you could in Deus Ex Human Revolution. You could say I could pick up these kinds of objects, and I get an upgrade. I could pick up heavier objects, and
yeah, like an implant upgrade on your. What do they call them now? Yeah, you actually have implants for the biotic potentials, don't you?
Right. So there's no complex, life-threatening surgery involved. You just boop, new upgrade.
Yeah, they could also have it if rather than holding that guy indefinitely, like put it on like a timer. So the longer you hold him up, it's like longer strain. So
right.
Something like that'd be kind of cool.
You need like a magic bar or something to show how much limit you've got.
Yeah. Arm gets tired.
Or you just collapse. You're like, oh, and your shields go down to 0 because you can't, for some reason, biotics have to. They can't afford kinetic barriers.
Right.
That every other soldier can have. They make their own or something.
Yeah, they're like, no. You Biotics are too OP, right? You're gonna get.
Yeah.
you guys are too OP. You're gonna get your own shield.
Yeah, there's some discrepancy in the force here. You know, you can't have fake kinetic barriers and man-made kinetic barriers. You can only have one. So yeah, that pissed me off in the first game too. I sort of understood it, but it was never really. Why was Caden's field purple? You know, why was it always like that? I don't know. So yeah, I never liked that. I just wish they could do away with it. So we'll find out. I doubt they will. It'll just be this, you know, big blue bar or big purple bar. It looks like it's all blue for this character, so I think they're going to keep one solid color. They don't care anymore. I think the lore is like, yeah, it's a shield. Yeah, it's a thing. It protects you. What do you do?
Or even a weapon.
Well, that guy was made out of explodium.
He threw one person in the whole it was like a grenade. It's like, forget the grenade skill. Let's just upgrade our...
Does the Biotic like change his chemical composition?
I'm turning your hair into explosives.
You go, now it's like you're like the badass version of Jesus now. I shall turn fish into wine. I shall turn you into a nuclear grade weapon.
it's like that character from The Tick. He's like the midnight bomber who bombs at midnight. All he does is go around and put like bombs on everything, and he's just really excited about bombing things. So it's like, oh my god, I'm a telekinetic now. I can blow you up. It's like, why not? Let's do that. So maybe there's this ridiculous lore where you excite the molecules and I don't know the magnesium in your blood to ridiculous levels.
Well, it'd actually be interesting if they combined like your powers together. Like for example, when you lifted the guy up with it, then you got the tech ability, which then could like detonate his ammunition stores.
Okay.
So like if you combine, mix and match your powers together, then you get different results in the combat situation.
I always liked the disable in the first game because that was just fantastic. You can just boom, the guy can't do anything, you're blowing him away. And yeah, like powers and abilities in the first game were great. And they just neutered them really in the second game because it wasn't a shooter enough. It wasn't a cover-based third-person shooter enough.
Right.
So in some regards, I am sort of happy that you can walk around. Tactically, it's probably not the wisest thing, unless they bring back like the immunity spell or something to make you a walking tank. Like I'm really pissed off they neutered Sentinels in the third game.
Yeah, they're pretty much just tanks, aren't they? Like,
they were tanks in
SMG.
In the second game, they were pretty useful. And the third game, they were just, it was a buff. It was just you put the tech armor on and it's a buff to your abilities, I think.
Yeah, because like, originally they were a very utility-based class when they had engineering and biotic-based stuff. So you kind of have the best of both worlds. Obviously got master of none.
Yeah, and that was fine. I think it's a great, and
like
pretty much
base bard.
It's pretty much what you are in this game. I mean, you just do whatever you want, and if you don't like it, you could just change it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a respec option, but there's going to be
I think there is. I think they have stated that you can respec at any given time, just to kind of go, just.
Oh my god, that is so ridiculous.
Yeah, and they've also said that you can just keep leveling up to the point where you can just unlock everything.
Oh please,
but you've only got 3 abilities active at any given time. So
it sounds like they were playing too much Skyrim and thought, hey, we can do what Skyrim does, but we're not going to make it open world, and we're just going to.
Well, they were saying things like they were wanting people to like to play for it, not play for it multiple times. It's like you guys are Bioware, right? You know? We play these games multiple times. That's why I was saying about the class system, and when you go down this more hybrid option of this fusion, really, you really have to balance it all out. Whereas with a class system, whereby what weapons they use, what armor types they use, it's kind of self-balancing to itself, and therefore you're going to replay the game based upon different skills and different companions. Whereas in this, the way of how everyone's moving around, or your character's moving around, your teammates basically just seem more than glorified turrets at this point.
It is possible, because if they look at the stats that they were given, not too many players replay the game. This is kind of a given for all games, though. Like not too many people play all the way through. So only the hardcore people will play it once or twice or 3 times, and you have to give them a reason to. In Mass Effect 1, I must have played that over 12 times because I wanted to play every class, and then male and female, and then Paragon and Renegade for each. So that's at least 10, times 2. So it's, at least 10 playthroughs. So yeah, that was just to see. And who would you bring with you? And maybe you kill this person off. Maybe you kill Rex off. That was great. And the story kept up. So I want to, like, you want that. You want replay. You don't want this generic one-size-fits-all dude, and then, I'll bring Bob with me this time because he's a Krogan, and he's going to say funny things because he's a Krogan. It's like, okay, well, I guess that's certainly part of replay, but it's not the rest of it.
Yeah, at least they aren't falling down the trap of Inquisition, where like every time you enter into a new area, you just get reams of like fetch quests, and just like, oh my god, no.
Well, the problem with Inquisition is because they had so many classes, they had to make a character for each for whatever reason. So you have like the 9 specializations? So the 3 base classes, and then the 3 specs. So you have to have at least 9 characters. And you're like, okay, well, Sarah's an archer. We got that. Okay. So is Varric, but he's not that kind of archer.
Now we need a melee rogue. That's cold.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that sort of mentality. Again, that's totally fine for gameplay, but they're just tacked on. In Mass Effect 1, it worked. The only problem was that you couldn't open everything because you didn't have Tally with you, or you spec'd Caden to be more biotic than tech. So, but that's that's your fault. That's the problem of playing that way. And that's good. That's what you get. Certain characters can do certain things, as opposed to well, obviously there are other problems with that system, but I would rather have a game which limits you and forces you to do something different the next time, as opposed to saying, you can you could open that lock a different way, or you can beat this enemy a different way. Well, okay, maybe that's fair. I wouldn't like that. I'd like to say, okay, this enemy has one weakness, and if you do not exploit that, whose fault? I mean, it's how you win this boss. So, do I wish you could have multiple ways of opening a door? Of course. Blow it away. You're a guy with a gun. Something will blow up eventually. Something will break. So that's just generic game design, not necessarily Mass Effect. You have a gun that could go faster than or near the speeds of light, shooting pellets that are unlimited. You're probably going to be able to blow away a boulder in a few seconds if you just marginally pull the trigger. So yeah, I'd love to see that level of reaction and destruction from environments, but I'm not expecting it. I'm not like, if it's not like Battlefield 4, then forget it. No.
Abilities like Annihilation Shield.
Okay, this one really made me laugh because it's called Annihilation Shield, and she presses or whatever the ability does to initiate it. It's like this aura, just poof, and the guy just falls over and then explodes. I don't know. Let's watch it again. I found it so funny.
Abilities like Annihilation Shield or Singularity can.
Oh, yeah,
she shot him.
Yeah, she shot him. Okay, so but it was just like he was walking, and all of a sudden he just fainted. It's like I snap my fingers and all my enemies have fainted. Like, why are we using tech abilities? Just press the snap a button. Everything falls over.
You just turned off the guy's like entire synapse system, his nervous system, to like, switch it off. It's like dead. It's like, why didn't the Reapers just have that? The Reapers just land and they just turn everyone's nervous systems off. They all just turn to jelly.
We'll just take you over now. Snap our fingers. Yeah.
Big giant Hoover.
disrupt and damage anything or anyone caught up in their powerful grip.
Isn't there another ability? Oh yeah, this is the going to show off the opposite one anyway. It's going to be cold.
Well, you know, there's all these skill trees. I don't want to go through all the details. I'm not one of those reviewers who zoom in and you're like, oh, well, this one does this and this one. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. We'll find out.
Each skill can be upgraded to become increasingly more devastating and effective. Each also has choices to make when upgrading, offering you more ways to customize your playstyle.
Yeah, but then you could respec at any time, so...
Yeah, I think that they've kind of overwhelmed themselves, so I think you have to respec.
I don't know. I think once you make your choice, that should be it. You can maybe there's a fee, like you spend like, I don't know, stupid, like whatever the monetary system was. I needed like 10,000 resources to do a face upgrade to clean off my scars because Chakwas needed it for some stupid reason. What do you need all this metal for? You can make a small ship with that metal. Like, no. I need to fix your face with. Yeah, okay, sure, right. You have to invent the tool to repair my biological face with metal. Okay, sure.
Right. This cryo beam, man, it's like, this seems really dangerous. Okay, the fire one, okay, you can have asbestos fingers, but cryo is like, yeah, it's your whole arm just gonna like freeze up and just remain there for like, just 1 second, guys. I just need to D4 it. Just it's okay. I'm Canadian. I'm used to it.
Yeah, not a big deal. I'll just get level 1 frostbite. Yeah.
Now that we have the basics down, let's put this into action. In this case, our Pathfinder is equipped with a sniper rifle and a shotgun, and they've got their 3 powers selected. You'll notice that different enemies each behave in unique ways. Some will keep their distance and try to snipe us. Others will charge right in and try to flush us out of cover.
Okay, so there's 2 enemy types. Ones that come at you and ones that don't. Now,
like a Mass Effect 2.
Like in every other third-person shooter, there's people who charge you and people who don't. So,
okay, yeah.
I haven't seen anyone biotic charging yet. So,
well, let's think, are there biotics for like the other groups? Like, how's Element Zero going to affect the alien races in this world? And
yeah, they haven't even talked about that. There's no information on. Like, can you imagine someone biotic charging you and like, oh crap, now what do I do?
yes.
They magically popped out of nowhere. Like if you go back to the, actually I haven't do that right now. There's a biotic dash, which let me see if I can see it. It's during the melee move.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I thought it was a teleport because it was so fast. Let's just see it. I always find it here somewhere.
I do like that biotic barrier that the guy activates, like it's an actual physical, because you see that in the cutscenes, don't you? Where the Asari like do the whole biotic bubble thing.
Oh yeah, they hold it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. Actually.
It is. Well, you have your normal shield, and then you have this mobile shield, which is kind of redundant, but sure, you want 2 shields.
Additional ablative, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of. There has to be some explanation.
If you've got a rock coming towards you, you kind of have to be like, well, this is going to hurt.
I'll just put my 3rd shield. I'll get my 4th shield. Yeah, okay. There it is. Okay, so it's like a super fast biotic dash forward. So yeah, I thought that was neat. Wasn't too lore breaking. I can get behind that.
The Vanguard shuffle.
Yeah, it's basically a Vanguard charge without the. Well, Vanguard charge was never very impressive in impact when it really should have like frickin', knocked over an elephant or something. But no, it's like, boink.
Actually, speaking of that barrier ability, they could like have that, like you activate it and then like you fling the barrier at someone temporarily, to knock them back.
Oh, like a bubble. You're just this big energy bubble and you're just throwing it at someone. That'd be cool, yeah.
Hmm.
Sticky Grenades is an advanced version of the Omni Grenade combat skill.
Sorry?
Grenades again.
Yeah, I don't think this is anything new, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't remember Mass Effect 3 too much, but I think there were sticky. Well, there were the Scorpion had sticky. You shoot at someone, it points, it waits for a few seconds, and explodes. I don't know why there was a delay, but yeah. So same idea.
They're effective against just about anything, but they have...
Of course, no one's wearing helmets except for you because
Yep.
reasons. Yeah. Who needs helmets in a firefight? I don't know. If you got like 4 levels of kinetic barriers here, and
I think as well, and when the video goes on a little bit longer, actually, yeah, keep on going because I think it should say like the planet's heat is actually like damages your shields.
oh yeah,
And when the guy gets into a little bit of open cover, you might see his shield start depleting or something. There's definitely an indication there.
have a limited supply. Enemies each have different strengths and weaknesses. For most, headshots inflict maximum damage, but you'll need to pay attention to their health bars. Yellow means they've got armor and won't be as susceptible to certain weapons and powers. Blue means they're shielded, and in addition to being more resistant to biotics, you generally need to deal with those shields before their health goes down. And just like you, their shields will recharge.
Where, you know, the like Haystrom and that kind of stuff. It was like, do you guys like want to be removing your helmet from that?
oh yeah.
Sun factor 5,000.
It's like it's melting our unphysical shield barrier somehow. We don't know why. But somehow solar radiation is really, really bad. And we're going to take our helmet off for that. I like the game mechanic. I didn't like the, why this was happening. I didn't like, what? Solar radiation versus kinetic barriers. I don't understand it. Okay. I think it was because the sun was emitting dark energy. I think that was the thing. And kinetic barriers and the Mass Effect work under dark energy. So I was like, okay, fine. Something like that. I can get behind that. It wasn't the clearest and best explanation, but Haystrom is one of the best levels in Mass Effect 2.
Oh, doubt.
Yeah.
If you don't finish them off quickly. Tactical Cloak is a tech skill that allows you to evade enemy detection and inflict increased damage when attacking from cloak.
Let's keep in mind that was, even though a tech ability, every ability you have is lethal. There's no like, I'm going to go up to a guy and I'm going to, stealth knock him out like you do in Deus Ex. No, you kill everything. There is no peaceful exploration and habitat. You are going to kill people because they're in your way.
Yeah, there's going to be no Pharos mission type, or at least none shown so far, whereby you've got, let's say, a bunch of people who, for whatever reason, they're up against you, but you don't want to kill them. But
well,
this one,
yeah, but that's what I mean. Even in the first game, the idea to be Paragon is not to kill. It's always to be diplomatic and only use force when attacked first. And this is a big deal in games with choice like Deus Ex, where you can have playthroughs where you don't kill anyone, and that's a big thing. So to not see, like, after all this time, to not have, I keep waiting. This is part of like the Mass Effect 2 remake stuff or fixing Mass Effect 2 series. Why can't you have non-lethal takedowns? What's the big deal? If you really are this amazing guy who knows how to kill people, you should be able how to disable them. You should be able to promote this idea that I'm a peaceful protector, and this is not a complex thing to do. Obviously, if you have guns that can travel extremely fast, they could penetrate stone and armor and metal so easily that would be the easiest thing. But this is, imagine if we had a system in place where the aliens were paying attention to you. Oh, you killed 2,000 of us since you got here. We don't like you. We're not going to share with you. We want you to go away. And there's a big violent battle at the end because they know how evil you are. As opposed to, you know what? You only killed 1 or 2 of us. And that was, under certain problems. I respect that. Even though you're an invader, we might consider talking to you just because of how you played. And there would be this whole big deal back on your ship. Everyone's following you, and they're like, well, why didn't you kill that guy? And they'd have this big argument. Like, that's the kind of stuff we want to see. We want to see interpersonal communication between your choices. And a simple choice like gameplay would work so simply. And all you have to do is choose like the non-lethal bullets, or the certain gun or the certain ability that does not fry everyone's brain, or throw them against the wall and shatter them, or cause their bodies to turn into bombs.
And finally, Overload. Another tech skill that's great for taking out enemy shields and synthetic enemies.
I like the way how the stealth was completely utterly made useless by the big glowy thing on his arm there. It's like, shh, I'm being very good.
What do you do if you're invisible and you turn it on? It's like this big glowing lightning rod on your hand. Oh, I'm being stealth. Can't you tell?
By holding it before releasing, you can even chain it
That's
to
what we used
multiple enemies.
Gameplay visual indicator to know that you've got it active rather than it's just like, yeah, it's, I know I activated the ability because I clicked on it, you silly fool.
Well, maybe that's what gets you out of cloak as soon as you turn. Like maybe
Maybe.
yeah, they have abilities that automatically turn you out of cloak because you turn them on. Makes sense.
It just that 2 seconds there where it's just this glowing Christmas tree of doom.
What's that lightning rod in the sky? It's just flying at me. What's that?
And this is just one of the hundreds of combinations of weapons and skills you can try in Andromeda. Stay tuned for future installments where we'll show you our profiles.
Yeah, so yeah, that was the first video. Tra-la-la. They show this really cool effect with, I think it's a lift ability or a push. Yeah, it's like you shoot off 3 and they all go different directions and they hit other people. I think that was something in the 3rd game, wasn't it? You shot more than one ball of whichever. So
I can't remember that one. I just remember the opposite one where you had like singularity and it means everyone goes like together. It squeezes everyone together.
Oh, this is fun. What the hell am I doing? Oh, screen sharing. That's right. Sorry. Ha 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 ha. There we go. Now we're no longer looking through the looking glass. We're back to wonderful world of talking, and I can go back to the chat. Hey guys, sorry for. I don't know if you guys could hear that or see that, but I appreciate for your fascination of hanging around. So let's see what wonderful comments we had during. Yeah, you know, it's fun. We get to. This is the first time we got to do this, so I do apologize for being all over the place. The setup was never the best. Even my cohort here is having a jolly good time figuring out.
Oh, dude, that flipping. It's like I have to use Internet Explorer. It kept on switching to Edge again. Like, thanks, Microsoft. Yeah, some people couldn't hear it apparently.
Oh, really? I'm kind of curious why that was. It should have worked just fine for everyone. Show participants. Yes, I want to show participants. Yeah, so this is my first attempt. So, oh, thanks, Mr. Good Enough. I really appreciate that. I will encourage to set events where I will invite people who want to come in and talk, because I'm sure you guys have lots to say, more than us rambling on and on about this crap.
It does not always be me, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean it could be other folk. It doesn't really. You know, I will not be getting a used copy. You know what? The gameplay looks good. So my sound was not routed when I shared the screen. That's stupid. I'm going to have to experiment. So I'm going to watch the stream when I'm done and see how it worked. But
I think the next. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I still have to play around with it. Google is actually abandoning some of the features of some of the chat, like with the YouTube playing. So I don't know if that was working right. Yeah, you know what? Hey, this was not a bad trailer. I have to give it that. The gameplay at least was shown, and it looked good. I was impressed with the Biotic stuff. The guns, I'm glad they had more guns. And I didn't like all the charges, because Biotic Charge never really was satisfying enough for me, even though I love Biotic Charge. Let's have a Mac Walters roast. No. Let's. I don't think we need to have Mac Walters on anymore. I think his attention is greater than it should be. So yeah, no. I actually got blocked by Mike Gamble, I think. The guy who's the executive producer of Dragon Age Inquisition. He did all the Dragon Ages.
Oh,
Was it Gamble?
no, Gamble. Mike Gamble was Mass Effect. What's his face now? I'll look it up.
I'm trying to remember. Anyway, it was on Twitter, and I was talking to another one of you guys on Twitter. He was tweeting with me.
Cameron Lee?
No, it must have been Gamble. I can't recall. Anyway,
Mike Lindor.
It doesn't really matter. And
Okay.
he was like saying something like, "Oh, this fan gets it," and the fan said, "I don't care what David Gator." There you go. Thank you, sir.
Ah.
Wait, is it Gator? Is it Gator? What does Gator look like? No, David Gator left the company. It's a guy who looks like Gator though. I think it's Michael Gamble. You just see a picture of Michael Gamble. No, not that Michael Gamble. The non-famous one. The Bioware Michael Gamble. Damn it. And of course he blocked me, so I can't search for him. Anyway, all he was doing was he was saying one fan was like, you know what, I don't care what the next Dragon Age is, I just want it. And this was in regards to a tweet he made about how people are constantly demanding things of a producer to make in a product. And I said, well, are these the kind of people you want? I mean, they have nothing to do with the design phase of software development. I'm sure they weren't involved in the beta to give feedback. So what are you really saying about this person? And he said, well, no, it's not about that. It's about how he's having a hard time, appeasing everyone. And I'm like, well, that has nothing to do with her. She's just a fan saying, I want Dragon Age. She doesn't care. Like, she's biased. And I try to explain that to him. And then the other guy jumped in. And then, we said nothing really offensive. There was obviously something of contention because we were arguing. But there was nothing like, oh, this is obviously a troll, or this is obviously a person that is contradicting me or not, or making me think, or what I'm actually trying to say. And then like an hour later, we get blocked. And I'm like, why did we both get blocked? I'm like, why did this happen? So there are some strange fellows on Bioware. There is a Bioware guy I communicate to a lot because we share the same interest in food. And he always takes pictures of food. He gets charcuterie. He does, pictures of beer. He once had his latest one was a picture of Ben and Jerry's ice cream and scotch. And I thought, wow, this guy really appreciates his desserts. And I thought that was cool. And we always talk about these things. So he's a friendly level designer coder guy. I don't know the name off the top of his head, but he's on Twitter. And there are some nice guys there. So, and I do appreciate the code monkeys and the level designers a lot more than I do the executives and the marketing people, and because those people are a dime a dozen. They're all over the place. They're going to ramble on about how great their product is, whereas the guys actually doing the work, that's their job. They're the things that actually make the game. The hardware guys, the software guys, the visual artists, those sort of people. So that's what I like to hear about. The gamer entitlement video released shortly after Mass Effect 3. Oh, geez.
Well, that was forever pandering, wasn't it?
That was that with that
guy from IGN?
Yes. Was it IGN? Okay.
Yeah, it was
that
IGN.
Was pretty sad. That was just
douchemeister, It's like,
let's bash our fan base. Why? Yeah, go for it. What a great idea.
Good job there.
The people who give us money, let's just slam them. Like, what? You could have said something like, well, I don't agree, and maybe we should be a bit nicer to developers. Fine, that's your opinion. But don't say like, oh, you guys are a bunch of privileged jackasses. It's like, what? Oh, boy. I mean, it's still talked about today. It'll still talked about tomorrow of Mass Effect franchise being screwed. It happens every day on the Facebook page, and aside from all the R-rated photos they share and showing off their tattoos that go across their entire backs and whatever else the fans there. They're not bad people. They're just super fans. So it's a little strange to having a conversation with them when you try to give them examples of where Bioware went wrong or where the games went wrong. I mean, people always post, or, oh, you know, Jennifer Hale, she's amazing. Her voice acting is much better than Mail Shep. I don't even know his name. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
we get it. You like her, okay? It's one actress. It's a lot of fan wank, and that's kind of the reason why this channel was made ever so long ago, as a result of the Bioware social network just being this echo chamber of pain and frightening voices that did not appreciate a contrary opinion. And then even when I did my crappy Mass Effect 2 plot analysis, they still wouldn't like that. And you know, it's like it goes from there. So that's kind of where I am right today with this channel, is just constantly going back to Bioware, seeing what they're doing, and in the meantime, doing fun little group chats with you guys and Ultimate Delicious Pie, and doing some book reviews and doing some movie reviews whenever I get around to it. So, oh really? Well, I'm sorry you lost your super fan status there, Mr. Stylisis. I do apologize. You know, maybe I broke your rose tinted glasses. Maybe it's for the best. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the thing about Mass Effect 2, wasn't it? Really, is that when you played it, you were like, "Oh wow, this is absolutely amazing." Then it's basically like the cotton candy. Feels good going down, but you just got a whole stomach full of nothing.
Well, yeah, that's true. When I first played Mass Effect 2, and I mentioned this a long time ago, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was awesome. I had a fun time. And then I said, okay, well, now I have to replay it because I want to try a different class. And that's when I really paid attention. And I was like, wait, no, this is all bad. even the intro, not the intro, well, the intro, of course, is devastating, but the tutorial intro where you wake up, the information, it was like, press this button to do that. And I was just like, okay. And then, you know, run through the fire. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is a skill I'm going to need to know. It's like, nope. There's no other option where you need to run through a hazard or use fire, or even though there are fire hazards in the Zaid mission, it has nothing to do with the tutorial that you learned. So there was a lot of disconnect between DLC, level design, game design. You see it. It's not easily visible, but you see it. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Rudy. I appreciate that. It's always nice to hear. Fun times. The great thing about waking up the first time you in Mass Effect 2 is you walk into that little ante-chamber room in between your lab room and the hallway, and there's like at least 7 or 8 Cerberus logos on the wall, on the ceiling, on the ground, on the sliding doors.
We're a secret organization.
Yeah, it's giant.
We're super secret guys.
And you wake up wearing a Cerberus uniform. And it's like, oh, thanks for reattaching my body and then clothing me. Instead of like a hospital gown, you put on my underwear, you put on, you know.
So, Shepard, your wounds haven't healed yet. Who's put on my shirt then?
Your wounds haven't healed yet. Your face is full of scars, but we thought we'd get you some nice cotton and nylon
Stretchy underpants.
rags and see how they fit, because, you know, very important. Oh, yes, I know. Food is now not even worth sustenance it's given, right? It's just this thing you do to stay alive. No joy in a life. Well, Cerberus is everywhere in Mass Effect 3, so if everyone knew about it in 2, and they became the Empire in number 3, so.
And then you got flipping Cora Harbour as well. Everyone's like, all the fans again going, is Cerberus going to be like all that? And you're just like, no, please, just we got away from that. We're trying to get away from that, just for the love of God. We don't want, like, you know, oh, these are actually Cerberus cells and they're trying to destroy this. You're like, there's only 20,000 humans. You can't kill it. There's only so many of us.
I'm going to respond this way. So no, I think my opinion of Mass Effect 2 is pretty much the same. It's it's the downfall of the series. It's the starting downfall, if not, broke a lot of it from the intro all the way to the end. I mean, and that's what they copied in Mass Effect 3. They took, when I did Bookends of Destruction, I thought of the first and the last parts of Mass Effect 3. You can really do the same in Mass Effect 2. Look at the intro of Mass Effect 2. It destroys lore for the sake of drama, which is the opposite of Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1 was details as opposed to drama or doing exposition as opposed to emotion. And that's the opposite of what Mass Effect 2 was. They wanted to just hype up the action and adventure. And it goes all the way to the Baby Arnold Reaper. So it's really, they copied what they did in Mass Effect 2 and just on a higher scale in Mass Effect 3, and it's just a waste. So, yeah, it's really sad to see that because, Mass Effect 1, for all its problems, I would still go back and play that, and I still do. Yeah, I wish I could say more. My favorite part of Mass Effect 2 is still the Shadow Broker DLC. That had a good combination of lore and action and drama. And it really, it took one of the most resounding characters was Liara. It made her into one of the more important characters in the story. I didn't really like how that happened, but it's fine. The comic book, if you actually read the ridiculous comic book that Mac Walters came out with and the Death of Shepard, if it wasn't for Liara and Miranda, Shepard would have been around. So there had to have been a focus on Liara eventually, and I'm glad they did that. So yeah, it was proper they did that, and I'm glad they did. All right, guys, I think I've been rambling on enough. Is there anything other questions you'd like me to answer for you guys? Thanks, Rudy. I appreciate that. Oh, you know what? Everyone who does not know who Chapomon is in the chat, he did an amazing review. Well, not only did he win my contest for the Steve, which you should all have known by now, is he did an amazing review of Citadel DLC, something I'll never play. And I recommend checking it out because he does line by line. He does a way better video editing job than I do. That must have taken at least a month to put together. It's so much effort. But if you want a really good analysis of Citadel DLC, check it out. That's Chapomon. Yes, I did play Inquisition, Mr. Phillip. I barely remember it. That's how promising it was. It was. What would we call that? The most mediocre game in existence? What is that? Anyone? You can go ahead, UtlimateDeliciousPie. I know you've been playing it.
I've been replaying, haven't I? It's Dragon Inquisition is just like one of the most automated games.
Automated,
yeah. Everything's just done for you. It's like everything you can ever possibly do. Even the combat is kind of done for you, and you kind of got the impression that they really wanted to do different things, like the whole mission timer thing. Like you get the impression that EA kind of wanted to monetize that, but then when you realize you can actually, I'm not sure if you know about the cheat with that you can do.
The cheat for what?
Quick speeding up the mission timers. When you do the whole playing cards on the war room, you can actually cheat it.
Really?
Really easy. All you have to do is save the game, go into the main menu, Alt tab out, go into your clock, put it forward a couple of hours, then log back in, and suddenly the mission's done.
Oh, I think I heard of that. Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, okay.
And if they were thinking of monetizing that, then I think they realized that people could just easily just completely circumvent it. And it's just like, well, you can't like hard lock people's BIOSes, so they can't change the timer.
Well, I guess that's one way to get around that crap. If you can cheat in a game to make things go by faster, because why wait? Like, why are you waiting for a game? What's stopping you? I mean, what's the big deal, right?
One of the ones was like, you have to wait like 32 hours. I was just like, what?
32 hours, wow.
Yeah, there's actually, one of the earliest ones was like 24 hours. I was just like, oh, sod this. This one can just go to hell. put forward it like so it was like Saturday morning, like Friday.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun. It sounds like they're encouraging you to stop playing the game.
Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, yeah, you should probably get out more. And they just don't tell you that. It's like, yeah.
It's like, hey, you know these shards that you should be collecting? You should be doing this when you're doing that.
Oh god.
And I just the thing about Inquisition was from a kind of who you're supposed to be. It's like they really wanted you to be this kind of like mercenary adventurer type, but at the same time be the leader of one of the largest, powerfulest organizations in Thedas. It's like these things are mutually exclusive. You can't be going around gathering up elf fruit and as the leader of the Inquisition. And more importantly, even worse is that you do it more efficiently than your buddies that you send out on those missions. It's like within 15 minutes on my replay that I'm doing right now, I did 3 quests and got something like 21 elf fruit. Send a couple of guys off to like for 15 minutes or whatever, and they come back with 6.
We should probably do a Dragon Age stream just because there's so much to talk about on that. And it's really, I mean, they're still working on the next one. We have to assume that, right? So yeah, we're probably going to have to talk about all the things that Dragon Age has become. I'm actually doing my next video is going to be about the Mass Effect series. And I'm starting with the first game, and I'm explaining what made that work, why it's good, and then I might do the second and third to see where it fell apart. I mean, we already know why, but it's just a summarization. And we should do that for the Dragon Age as well. I think we should have a stream with Dragon Age. We'll get it all out, and then we'll analyze in broad strokes why Dragon Age worked, why Origins worked, why Dragon Age 2 worked and didn't work, and why Inquisition, well, I'm sure some part of Inquisition worked for someone, right?
Yeah. The way it's just very deliberately padded out, and it needs a lot more of a focus, like tighter beam, really. Like you've got all like these huge open expansive areas, but considering that you're just doing the same thing repeatedly, like literally wherever you go, it just turns the entire game into an absolutely massive chore, and you don't want that. Even the dragon fights are just like, okay, I've just killed like 10 dragons. Big whoop. Whoop-de-doo.
Well, I've seen videos on YouTube of people killing dragons instantly with like their artificer specialization, which is like, right. Yeah, which is like the most unused. I thought it was awesome. I really like the artificer guy because he could make those magic grenade bombs just pop out of nowhere.
That's Biotic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like, what the hell is that? It's just everything exploding around you. And you're a guy with a bow. And you're like, what?
I remember actually fighting one dragon. I was trying using the pommel strike, which strangely enough does something like 400% of your original damage. So hitting someone with the pointy end does less damage than me just like going on someone's head. But me trying to hit this dragon one time and me trying to do the pommel strike on its leg, and my guy just kept on missing. He kept on doing the animation, so he kept on like going whoop, 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 whoop.
I'm trying to remember playing that game, enjoying the gameplay. I can't. It was a chore. It really was. You were like, okay, I'm a mage. I'm going to stand here and hold the button, and I might cast a spell. And then if you chose to specialize as the was it the Knight Enchanter? I mean, the game just goes into easy mode if it wasn't already. You just destroy. You just sit back. Your attack replenishes your shields, and that was it. I mean, nothing can stop you. Mm. So, you guys want to know about clever noobs? Oh, well, I did actually go to Philadelphia. I sued him, and I lost. And yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't say it was a waste of time and money, but to prove these things is very difficult in a civil court of law. And it's one of those things that you probably should never do. And it was probably more of a damage to my ego than anything, because, when you produce evidence, it's called the discovery phase of an investigation. And if you're the defendant, you can say, oh, well, this is all the evidence I have. And I was reading, not public, but private forum conversations he was having with his friends. And it was pretty much just him getting his, being patted on the back, saying, oh, you're great, you know all about the law. And my lawyer was like, well, we can't prove that he didn't know the law until now, even though it was fairly obvious from these chat conversations, but they don't prove that. They just imply it. So, and then you have to say, well, how do I get expulgatory proof from that? And you can't. And it's very difficult, even though both of us knew, like, yeah, this guy is just a kid. He obviously didn't know the law. But to prove that is another story. So, you always try to look for a smoking gun in a court case. And that is very difficult to prove or to find. Like when a defendant is going to say, I'm going to break this law at this day, at this time, this way, that you'll never get that. So that's the problem that my lawyer was having. We argued about this for a bit. To me, it was obvious. To anyone who can read in between the lines, saw that he didn't know what he was doing and he had no way out. And I was offended by that on principle. And my lawyer was like, you know what, I'll never encounter a guy like you ever again, because no one will spend that kind of time and money on principle to sue someone. So yeah, that's what happened. The problem I had with the resolution wasn't so much that the third party we called in, another lawyer to abdicate for us, said, it's in favor of the defendant. It's his lack of explanation, his lack of research, and his lack of explaining what statute and why. It was very quick and it was very nondescript, which is what I was a bit offended by. But it's really something that not a lot of people should ever do in life, having to sue another person over. I wouldn't even call it. Well, I guess it's a type of libel. I guess you can call it slander in that regard as well. It was spoken as well as written, but yeah, it's very rare. Never go to the point about it to sue someone. Let them come to you. Let them talk to you about it. Never, never. Litigation's the last resort. This is a life lesson. Don't ever do that. It's a time waster. It's a money waster, and it's probably not worth anyone's time. There's a lot more productive things you can do with your time, and that's doing what you love, which is gaming and going out and enjoying life and learning about life and building your own things. If you guys love gaming so much, I know you do. You're all gamers, obviously. Talk about making games. Talking about the game you want to make. Critique the games you like, and figure out what you enjoy. And find like people. You will come across interesting fellows, like my buddy UtlimateDeliciousPie here, who has a lot of acerbic wit that he hides beneath a thin veneer of romanticism towards his passions, and he enjoys it. And you have great conversations, and you guys can do that as well. So, and eventually, if you're that hardcore about gaming, you might end up building your own. And nowadays there's all kinds of tools to do that. There's so many tutorials, and like you spend like not even $30 for online video tutorials on Unity or Unreal, whatever engine you like. And yeah, just go for it. Get some people together who think the same way, who like the same things as you. And I guarantee you will have a much more fulfilling time working with what you enjoy, as hard as it is, even doing a little game like tic-tac-toe, or writing a book that you really like, than you would have, bashing the crap out of your favorite game company. As much as I enjoy that, because it's an exercise in things I enjoy and to exercise your mind, which is you do not find online a lot. If you go to any other YouTube channel where there's all kinds of, there's at least 6 I know of on YouTube where they love Bioware, and they get hundreds of thousands of views on their videos, and they do what are those? It's pretty famous on YouTube where you watch a video and you react to it. What are those called? What are those videos? Are they called react videos? I don't know. So they gush over these videos. So it's like, well, you know, you're a fan. Of course you're going to gush over. There's no reason for just appreciating that by yourself. And I could probably tear those apart because they're so funny, but there's no point. It's just a bunch of fans. You should become a lawyer if you want to make money. You certainly will. A Smud Boy smash. Depends what I want to smash. What do you guys want to see smashed? There's all kinds. There's all kinds of stuff to smash. You want me to smash reaction videos? Oh, really? Which, okay. Tell you what. Give me, oh yeah, I've heard of that. The Fine Bros, right? Give me a video you want me to smash. It's a reaction video. Go ahead in the comments, or you can mail me. I will do it. That sounds like fun. It's simple. It's easy. I'll do one just to see if anyone likes it. There's all kinds of Bioware fans. There's literally a guy called Bioware Fan on YouTube.
Oh, that guy. I watched a few of his videos, actually.
Are they any good? I don't even know idea.
It's just, it's very much based upon like you get like given like a couple of scraps of information, and then they just run with it as far as they can possibly go. I mean, the well-intentioned people, I imagine, but
yeah,
it's just kind of like there's not enough information there. You know, it's just you're kind of filling in the gaps for yourself there. You know, like Cora Harper, is she the elusive man's daughter? And it's like, who cares?
who cares?
Does it really matter? Is this like human supremacy in the Andromeda galaxy?
Okay, so Bioware Fan. All right, so people have said Bioware Fan. I know him. All right, pick a video from. I can't do anything. Be specific, guys. Pick a video, link it to me, send it to me, leave it in chat, leave it in comment. No, I'm not doing Life is Strange. Dear God, I'm not doing Life is Strange. Please no. Dear God, no. No Life is Strange for me. I've seen enough to hurt myself. Yes, that's the video I saw. It was too, I cannot play that. I can never watch that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not gonna. RWBY. What is RWBY? I'm sorry, I don't know that acronym. I wish I did. The end of the game was a slap in the face with a brick. Oh my. What are we talking about? What am I doing? I'm not doing Life is Strange. I'm sorry. Why not? Because, well, it's a contemporary story combined with weird time travel bullshit with other bullshit. So imagine having the most annoying content or premise, which is like adolescent or pre-adolescent girls, okay? And then combine it with time travel, and then all this other nonsense. I mean, it's just going to be me just bashing it every 5 minutes. And what is RWBY? Who are we talking about here? What is RWBY? Rooster Teeth Show quasi-anime. What? What? How about Dragon Age? You know what? I might do Origins just because, and KOTOR. You know what? Those are, I've been wanting to do those. What do I think of the gameplay trailer? I liked it. I thought it was good. There are some problems with it, but I really liked the biotic pull that you could use as a shield and as a weapon. I thought that was cool. I'm not doing the Game of Thrones stuff. I'm not venturing into that realm. Okay, so Ruby. Okay, fine. I got you. I actually really like KOTOR 2 more than KOTOR 1, so I probably will want to do that. All right, but what was the video? People said Bioware Fan, and I'm like, which video? I'm sure he has a whole bunch, but pick one.
I think people get confused with Biofan as well. There's like,
yeah, who is it? Biofan. Yeah, Biofan has 129 videos. He's on.
Is it
Alpha
that?
Protocol. Yes. I want to do. Yes. All right. Tell you what, guys. I will then go check out Bioware Fan or whatever that guy's channel is, and I will do a Smud Boy Smash. Okay. Yes. I haven't talked to Stardust in a while, but I probably will eventually. Telltale. The problem with Telltale games, I'm not saying they're bad games, but the problem for me is they're all cinematic and they're all QuickTime events. And I don't like that. To me, that's not a game. It's a mechanic I never liked, and all they're doing is just showing me a movie. You know, I want to play a game. But you know what? I do like Alpha Protocol. I love that game. I'll probably do that eventually. Oh, geez, Spec Ops: The Line. God, I forgot about that. You know what? I'm going to do that one next. Spec Ops: The Line. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
They compare Obsidian with Bio. It's a war crime.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a big fan of Telltale. Okay, so I'll probably be doing my next Mass Effect video, and then I'll do Spec Ops. I still have Spec Ops on my machine. Anyway, guys, cool. All right, thanks for hanging around. I appreciate it. I have not spoken to Mr. B Tongue. No, I have not. I'm not excited for Pillars of Eternity 2. No, I did not like the first one that much. Yes, I know you did. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And I've been really lazy in doing it. I will do it next, though. So I'm going to be doing my next Mass Effect video.
Ghostbusters 2000.
I'm not doing Ghostbusters 2016, you son of a bitch. And then I'm going to do Spec Ops: The Line. And I think I have an obligation to do it because a fan gave it to me, and I really appreciated that. It was a good experience. There was lots of problems with that game, and I owe it to him and others to do that. I admit isometric games are not as exciting to watch. That's true, but they're a lot more fun to play. And I still need a response on who to smash. So I'm going to make a video on who to smash, and you guys can leave comments. And the highest comment, I will smash. How's that? Okay? Okay, guys? We're good with that? I'll make a video. And I don't know why everyone's giggling, but I guess I can't read fast enough. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much. I will see you guys soon, and I appreciate all the feedback.